Let's turn this blank slate into this. Hi there, I'm Carolyn Dunn, and I'd love to welcome you to my channel. Let's get started. Okay, this is the color palette we're going to be working with today. And I have my black craft paint. It's from Craftsmart. And then I have in Liquitex Basics acrylic fluid, titanium white. In the tulip puff paint, I have blazing blue, shiny. Tulip slick in the fabric paint in the purple. In DecoArt Americana, I have Mississippi mud, fawn, desert sand, buttermilk, and burnt sienna. Also, desert turquoise, Indian turquoise, whispering turquoise. In the dazzling metallics, teal, glorious gold, worn penny, and purple pearl. And in the Nouveau crystal drops, I have copper penny. So let's get at it, shall we? Okay, friends, this is our 12-inch piece. It's Live a Simple Life is what it's called. And we are going to start with a puffy center dot. Now, if you don't have this, just use a tealy turquoisey paint and the 10mm tool. Now, I just used a stencil to pre-mark a 10mm circle in the center. So if you do have this paint, do the same and then just start squeezing until you get the right amount of paint in there. And it should be quite puffy for you. And I think we like it. Okay, we've got that lovely center dot in there. And now we're going to go in and just make swooshes all the way around that. We just don't want to hit that. So we're going in with fawn and the 3mm tool. And as you get close, because that is a raised dot, just use your fine tip tool to get it up there. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting it on it. And we're dragging a swoosh on every line. But I do want you to keep in mind that we'll be dotting some dots down in between them. So do leave space. So you're just starting on a line and then dragging that up. And if you're following along with this tutorial, you can pause it here and get your swooshes in. We'll meet you at the last swoosh. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to walk dots down in between in the desert turquoise. And we're going to do a round of white dots around there. Okay, so we're going in with some desert turquoise, and we're going to walk dots in towards that dot using the 0.5mm tool. I'm doing the first dot and then I'm walking. Pause the video and continue walking those dots, and I'll meet you at the last one. Yeah, I love it. Okay, the next round of dots is in the white, the titanium white. 2.5mm tool. You should theoretically be able to get 2 dots in each section. Now, if that doesn't happen, don't worry about it. Just continue on, as I always say, with similar spacing, similar size dots, okay? Good time to pause the video. I'll meet you at the other side. There we go. How did that go? Mississippi mud is next. 8.5 millimeter tool. And we'll go on every other line. Our first row of petals will be in Whispering Turquoise, and we'll use the 0.5 millimeter tool for our uppermost dot. And we'll walk those dots down with the same tool. I'm placing a single dot on either side and then walking the dots down. I'm going to let you finish up walking these dots and I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, now Indian turquoise. We're going light to dark here. 2 millimeter tool. Okay, we should just be on the crosshairs of this line here. Go down with the 1 millimeter tool. You continue on with these, and I'll meet you at the last one. Now we'll go in with Desert Turquoise. Let's use the 2.5 millimeter tool for the uppermost dots. Taking those dots down with the 2 millimeter tool. And you'll notice again that I single dot 1 or 2 dots and then walk them from there, just because they're fairly large. There we go, they're all in. Okay, let's go in with the burnt sienna and place a 3 millimeter dot in between all of those flowers. If you don't have burnt sienna, use copper or whatever color you like, okay? Well, I tried something and it really didn't work out. So now we're moving forward, and there's really no reason to get into the ugly details. But now we're going in with the worn penny to create some swooshes. So we'll start with a really large uppermost dot using the 5 millimeter tool. Yes. So now we're just going to take our tool and we're going to swoosh down like so, and we'll grab that our little friend to just take that all the way down. I've got the hanger on the back because when we were doing the hanging module, I needed to put a hanger on the back of something, so It's making it a little bit awkward because it's not really sitting flat, right? What are you gonna do? It is what it is, right? And this is why it's so cool that you can just, oh, that's not gonna work out. Well, let's come up with a different plan and make it work, right? Okay, now here's the part where you may want to depart from what I do, because like I almost always have to have purples or pinks in here, but you could easily put one of the lighter browns in here, whatever you like. I will be going with Purple Pearl. And since we're making a trio of swooshes, we'll use the 2.5 millimeter tool to create our 3 dots, and we'll use the small end of the 1 millimeter tool to drag those down. And your first dot should hit the same line as the uppermost copper dot hits. And then we're going to come lower. Sit right here. Nice big. It could even be a 3, to be honest with you. And I'm always honest. Come on. Okay, all right, so next is, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking teal and the 2.5 millimeter tool. Your dots to be touching the top line there and the bottom, and that's going to give you a nice symmetrical look to your dots. And if the measuring is good, you should be able to get 5 dots in a space. If not, again, as I say, just keep going and we just work out the spacing along the way. Okay? I'll meet you at the other end. There we go. And they all seem to be staying in their own space. Perfect. I wonder if we should top dot these guys while we're here. And we're going to top dot them in fawn first round. And we'll use the 4 millimeter tool for these top dots. There we go. Let's create some flower bases in the titanium white with the 10 millimeter tool on every other line. And that dot should fill about 1.5 centimeters. So just below the swooshes, in the center of that line, and down 1, 2, 3 lines. And that will be getting top dots. So we'll start our petals in desert sand. We're using the 2 millimeter tool for the uppermost dots, all the way around.
And you're sort of in the middle of that 0.5 centimeter space.
I'm going to try this 1.5 millimeter tool to walk the dots down. If you don't have one, just walk down with the 2 millimeter tool.
I have not walked dots with these, so let's just see how that goes. Nice. So we do one. Let's beat that a bit. One. And then we walk. And there we are, all the way around. So now we're going to go in with fawn. Let's give that a 2.5 for the uppermost dot. And that's in fawn. We'll walk down with the 2. Ooh, look at that. Surprise, we're around. Okay, so this outer row will be in the Mississippi mud. Okay, so one here, and we'll drag down with the 2.5 millimeter tool. Okay.
So for this uppermost dot, we're going to use the burnt sienna and the 3.5 millimeter tool.
Yeah, that works. Okay, so 3 millimeter tool here, 3 millimeter tool here. And then we were using the 4. Well, I think we were using the 3.5. Just don't let it go above that line there because we want to get some dots in, I think. Okay, that's pretty good. So we're doing these lines. I'm coming just almost identical with that one for the first one, then down to the next line for the second one, the next line for that one, and the next line for that one. And as you know, I'm a rough sketcher.
And you don't need to sketch these in at all if you don't want to. You can just swoosh away.
It's just to give me an idea of where I want to be. Okay, so we've started with the dark, And we're just going to follow along here, guys. That's all we're going to do. So we're doing fawn next, and we're just using tools. If you feel brave and you want to use brushes, by all means, go ahead. I'm not leaving a negative space. Let's say I'm not trying to leave a negative space. Maybe that's the better way to put it. Lots of swooshing in this one. Okay, friends, the next one is desert sand.
And for the remaining of these swooshes, I will demonstrate one and then I'll meet you at the last one, okay?
I've mixed some pouring medium in with this. I'm just using the small end of the 1mm tool here just to drag those up, tuck them in where they should be. Okay, and now buttermilk.
It's time for some top dots. Let's do it. That is stunning. Let's introduce some glorious gold to this piece.
2.5 and the fine tip tool. And we're going in with some gold.
So we're just loading some glorious gold paint in between those flowers there. Just load it up and then take your fine tip tool and follow that circle of dots around and just tuck right into the edges on either side and then bring down your triangle to a point. And that point should be between 1 and 1.5 centimeters down from the row of dots. Just make sure whatever it is, it's the same all the way around. All right, let's bring back in the purple pearl, and we use the 4mm tool to place a purple pearl dot right at the tip of that triangle all the way around. I like it.
Now we're going in with the white to create a row of dots. And we'll be using the 3mm tool. So you're coming down, you're leaving one row of space there. So you should be able to get 8 dots in the space. Okay, let's put some flower bases on here using the 11mm tool
and the Mississippi mud paint. Lovely. It's time to walk some dots again, and we'll use the same color progression we did in the first row.
We're starting with the Whispering Turquoise. And I think we'll start with the 2mm tool for the uppermost dot, as these are larger dots. And you're just in that 1/2 centimeter space there. Okay. And now I think we'll use the 1mm tool to walk those dots down. So 1.
And we'll show the first and the last.
1. And you can see both of those are sitting on that line. So you're getting a good start. So those are single walked, and then we'll walk the dots. Now for some Indian turquoise. Adding a little bit of pouring medium, just for me because mine's a bit thick. I don't know what yours is like. 2.5mm tool for these uppermost dots, and they'll be in the next space. Just kind of sitting on that line. And the 2mm tool to get those dots down. So remember, follow that line, place that one there, follow that line, place that one in line with that. Oops, a bit bigger. Desert turquoise, 3mm tool. So 2.5mm dot. Again, follow that line, place that one. Follow that line, place that one. I'm going to do 2 dots down and then walk them down. Okay, I'm sorry, my friends. I keep doing this. Let's talk about this, and we'll give you some measurements and whatnot. So, your first swoosh in the shiny, brilliant blue, blazing blue in the puff paint. If you don't have puff paint, please just use whatever paint you want. And we've already gone through many times how to make these swooshes. So, we're starting. The first swoosh is starting at the line 0.5 centimeters above the white dots. And you're going to drag that up close to that purple dot. Then you're going to take the next 2 dots, and they're sort of sitting on that line that is 1 centimeter above the white dots. So they're sort of just below it. And then you're going to drag those ones up beside those guys, okay? On these dots, we're starting, that dot is basically, actually, we're in line with this uppermost dot, okay, for the first one. And you're dragging that down to 1 centimeter above the white dots, because we want to leave room for a dot that we're going to place there. Okay, so just bring them all down so the tips of them are just at that line that's 1 centimeter above the white dots. Okay, and then the lower dots are starting like 1 centimeter from the rim about, and dragging down to that same point. Okay, and that is, I've put in with this purple Tulip Slick dimensional fabric paint. But again, if you have Nuvo drops, or if you want to just do it in paint, you can do the same thing. I would say with this one, you're probably looking at the 3mm tool, if not even a bit bigger. And then when you're dragging it down, just switch to the small end or use your fine detailing tool to do that. I think I use the small end of the pink tool, the 1mm tool, to drag my dots down from the tulip puff paint. Okay, and up here on these ones, you might even want to go to a 4mm dot if you're doing paint. Yeah, about a 4.5mm dot, and then drag that down, and the same with the others. Okay, sorry about that. Since I missed doing this in the video, let's do it right here. So we'll squeeze our first dot. I'm taking the small end of the 1mm tool, and I'm just dragging that dot down. Okay, and then I'm going to make 2 more dots. I'm going to bring them up a little bit. And you have to watch you don't get this stuff too close, or it will expand almost and run into each other. Okay, that's basically it with the tulip paint, the puff paint. Now, if you were just going to use regular paint, so you just do the very same thing. We'll make our big dot. Okay, and then you could even just turn this tool around and use the small end and drag that up. And then you make a dot on either side, like I said, a little bit lower or higher, however you want to say it. And then you're going to drag that up as well. This paint is a little thick. Okay, and with the purple one, we were taking the 4mm tool. You could even go 4.5, but just load that up with paint. And then take your smaller end tool and drag that up. Okay, so you get your swooshes in. Anyhow, so where are we at now? We want to place a dot here. Now I have several options. I could go in with the teal. I could go in with this, but I don't think so. I think I want more of a flat dot there. Or I'm thinking of going in with the glorious gold, because we have glorious gold here and we want to just tie that in somewhere. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think 7.5. Okay, let's start with the one we have marked out there. So you want to be on that line. So what we did was for down here, we wanted to create a line that is even between the two flowers. Never mind about measuring whatever, because you want it to be visually pleasing. So you're going to look at this and pick the midline in between, or you could measure in between here. That's fine too. Just because some of our dots or our flowers, might be wider on one side than the other. You know, we're not perfect. And so that's what I did. I just eyeballed it and created a center line. And then that's what we're putting in the center of our gold dots. And I can see that some of my purple lines went up a little high. You could always go down a size for your dot. There we go. Okay. I'm looking at it going, are we okay with this negative space in there? I kind of like it. Do we want something around the outside rim? What I am thinking is a white dot above here.
I don't want to do a simple row of dots around the outside. I'd like something different.
But I do want to bring that, that white up. And I think we'll top dot that when they're dry with the teal, metallic teal. And get fawn in there for top dots. I think 7. So I'm just bracing my hand. Yes, I think so. Sketch it in first. Okay, now we have that sketched in. We need to get the chalk off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's okay. That's okay. Lovely. So I'm going to let that dry because going the opposite direction is difficult for me, so I may do it so I'm up here, but I need to make sure I don't get my hand in anything. And so we need top dots on these guys. And I'm actually quite fine with the negative space in there. Sometimes you don't need to crowd everything. Yeah. Yeah, loving it. Okay, my friends, let's get some top dots in. And then we'll move from the top dots to these white ones, okay? 2.5 with our copper top dots. Okay, and 3.5. Lovely. 1, 2, 3. Oh, holy. That was fast. We're all the way around. I love that. Teal top dots here.
Okay, now we'll top dot these guys with the 2mm tool and the worn penny paint. Now I'm taking some of that tulip blue puff paint and I'm top dotting our teal dots. Just what that needed. I love it.
This is copper penny, so I'm going to put it on 1 and see what we think, and then we'll go from there.
I like it. A little contrast from the worn penny paint, but I still like it, so we'll add these all the way around. Yep, beautiful.
I may also go over these with this when they dry though.
And I did, but I didn't film it, just so you know.
Otherwise, we are done, my friends. We are done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take some of these guidelines off. And then we'll see what touch-ups and if we have any other things we want to do. In between the dimensional swooshes. Little guidelines like to hide in there.
And we'll do any touch-ups that we need to do.
Okay, it's finally varnish time. So I'm going to go around the edges first. Okay, I'm going to do my drawdown.
Next coat in 4 hours.
Okay, friends, last round of varnish, we hope. So we'll just start. Okay, do my drawdown because I have quite a bit on there. Okay, get that edge again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then we're going to leave it be, let it dry, and we'll get some pictures. What do you think, friends? Is it beautiful or what? Love it. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Module 18, only 2 more to go. In the next module, we're going to learn all about casting molds using UltraCal 30. So thanks again, it's beautiful. We did a great job, guys. Love this color palette. We'll see you next time. Remember, keep on dotting. You won't regret it.